Welcome to the righteous sphere. We separate the gray areas over here. We don't do the lying like those other places. No. We don't do no fucking lying over here. You're gonna get the truth.
I got this rap nigga sick. Come on. I ain't even touch it. I just was liking no pics. Since I heard that you a hater, I'ma pull up in tent. Come on. Let her eat me in the wheel and have a wipe in her. Yeah. Got me chopped, got me twisted, got me backwards. Yeah. I'm not just a rapper. If you try me, I'm a clap. The shooters that I'm with don't play the bench. They get active. Dropping 30 out the clip. Y'all talking about practice? Stepping like a landmine. Tell them that it's bombs away. Remember they was sleeping on me. Now them niggas wide awake. I'ma keep applying all this pressure till my mama straight. I don't like beef, but I love to retaliate. All these bad hoes pimping ain't easy. Ain't making out the hood, but look, I'm still talking greasy. I'm still free banger, free stretcher, free leafy. If you're hating on me since a kid, but still can't beat me. They're talking crazy with no gun. Tell them pipe down. You got a car to get a strap. It's on me right now. We don't care about your past and what you would have been. We rather hear about the work that you be putting in. Gotta update your resume with us. Shorty bad with a fat ass. That's a plus. She told me that she loved me deep down. I know it's lust. I told love, give me loyalty and trust. I be spitting crack. All I do is give them dope lines. Spent the block twice. Get them niggas hell both times. They said if you don't grind, then you don't shine. I know they wonder how I do it with no cosign. I don't know about your city, but in Philly, this shit get dark. When they make your mama cry, families get tore apart. When niggas go fishing in that ocean trying to war with sharks. When they don't let shit slide, but it wet you like a water park. If they don't feel it, nigga, they smell me. These haters wanna smoke me cause they chicks wanna inhale.
Yes, sir. How y'all feeling? And welcome to the studio, where we learn how not to be a dummy from some well-paid dummies, guys. We watch, follow, study these stars and celebrities and athletes, so we know how the broke folks in our community is going to be acting and behaving. It's your host, Mr. Goodbread, and I got the dean, OK Izzy, in the studio, guys. We're in the studio tonight. How y'all feeling?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Thanks for having me, good bread. It's always a good time whenever I slide through. Appreciate you for having me.
No doubt, man. We're gonna have a good old conversation. I love having conversations with my boy. You know what I mean? I really mess with you, but my guys are, you know that.
For
You know
sure.
what I
For
mean?
sure.
So tonight we got Jay-Z playing to distance himself from Diddy may backfire, and it will. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep it 100. Bonnie, what's going on? Bonnie Blanco, what's up? Salute.
Mm,
What you
sir.
think, okay, Izzy, about the title tonight and now the conversation we finna have?
I'm actually curious because I done seen a few things about this. I done heard a few things about this, but I really ain't dived deep into this. So it's gonna be very, very interesting for me to see what's going on. But what I could say is you know, honestly speaking, it's almost like we already done predicted this. Like this is just the attack on the black man, et cetera, et cetera. But don't want to get too deep into that. And we just got to look at it for what it is. I don't even want to
I,
say too much. I want to just observe.
I feel you, man. Yo, I honestly, our childhood is ruined. Like everything that we just wanna like, everything we wanna appreciate is just ruined. And this is by design, because we supposed to be liking and appreciating something. It ain't them though. But you know what I mean? By design, yo, everything just ruined. Like it's just ruined. It's just tarnished
Mhm.
from the sports to to this to the music, just everything. It's not the same. Things will never be the same. But let's not ramble and keep the people hold the people up. For those of y'all that might not be tuned things, I know I got a unique audience, and a lot of y'all not nosy. Y'all not nosy ninjas. So if I don't break the story to y'all, y'all really wouldn't know or care to know about the information and what's going on in the world. So If you ask me, Jay-Z was winning this. Jay-Z is 1-up. He won. He was 1-0 until his lawyer, you know what I mean, who was an experienced guy by the name of Alex Spiro, whatever, y'all know, Spiro, whatever.
Right.
Until he opened his mouth yesterday and said that Jay-Z and Diddy are not friends. Now that right there, my friend, is a lie. And you already 1-up because Shorty is lying. So now when you say statements like that, when we living in a, bro, this is, okay, Izzy, this technology land, we're in technology central right now. We could go pull up 100 pictures of Diddy and Jay-Z right now. We could, bro, you know what I mean? Like, who is we fooling? Like, why would he say some stupidness like that? And now
Right.
that gives everybody a leg to stand on. Like, everybody who is thirsty and want to see this man fail and lose it all because they not winning, now give them a chance to be like, he's lying. What is he hiding? Oh, he did something. Am I bugging?
No, you're not bugging and that's a really good point, because when people see other people winning while they're losing, they try to make excuses for why they losing through the people that's winning. So I think that's a really good point that you brought up, and it's nothing but divide and conquer. That's really what I look at it like.
Facts. And let's not get it twisted, right? Because we all know, like, come on, we know Jay-Z and Diddy are not besties, bro. They're not besties, bro. I don't think anybody could be best friends with Jay-Z, tell you the truth.
Right.
Jay-Z like Hulk Hogan out this mother. You know how Hulk Hogan, bro, everybody turned on Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan ain't got no friends. Jay-Z like
Easy.
Hulk Hogan out this mother. And I fucks with Jay, you know what I mean? But
Right.
man, why would that lawyer say that though? When it's clips like this going around on the internet. Okay, Izzy?
Person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside
should be,
of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
That should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
You've been there with me through my ups and downs. Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here. This is my brother. It's B.I.G's brother. Yes, sir. It's Brooklyn's own Brooklyn.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so now you make it look crazy. That statement look crazy. And nah, they ain't best friends. You know what I mean? Like, I could know you, like me and you, okay? I know you. We, you know what I mean? You my guy. But if you got some old crazy freak off joint going on over there, bro, I don't know about that.
Right. That's a good point. That's a
That
really
ain't
good
got
point.
nothing to do with me.
That's a good point. Don't try to put some stuff in where it's like, just because this person got something derogatory going on, that the person that he associate with is supposed to automatically not mess with him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I could understand if it was directly tied to that person, but it's not. So, as you can see, guys, as y'all just seen, these, they cool with each other. They ain't got no problems with each other. So don't try to tear these brothers down so that y'all can fit y'all false agenda.
And that's what people do. When they not building something, then it's easy to try to pull somebody to your level, especially when somebody is growing and you not. Remember, stagnant folks turn to haters. Stale water turns stagnant. Stagnant water turns stale, I mean. It's nasty. But let's get to the let's get to Jay Attorney, man. See, he had a nice little briefing where he broke some things down.
When you're trying to evaluate whether something occurred, you have to look at different pieces of the narrative: the location where it happened, the witnesses, who were they, what did they say, the details. Details are very important in time. So we start off with the location. And according to their complaint, after approximately 20 minutes, she arrived at a White House with a U-shaped driveway and a gate. There is no such location in New York, 20 minutes from Radio City. It does not exist. There is no such location. We don't know whether they created a location in order to try to get jurisdiction in New York so they could bring this case in New York, or that they just didn't do their homework. But any New Yorker knows there is no such location. Beyond that, this was supposed to have taken place at Mr. Combs' after party, according to them. When you look at the homes associated with Mr. Combs.
And that's a fact. For the record, I'm from New York City. I mean, Radio City is downtown, right around the corner from Rockefeller Center, where they like the big old tree. And ain't nothing. They lying, bro. 20 minutes.
What? Okay.
Ain't no, on them yellow taxis down there, it take you 20 minutes to get uptown, bro. And that's just uptown, bro, from downtown.
And I'm glad I got you, feel me? Because you from there, so you kind of know a little bit more than me, like more intimately what's really going on as far as like the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's the first lie.
Yeah,
that's the first lie that they got. That's the first lie that they got, that they debunked. That's why he wrong for going up there saying, Jay, you don't got to say all that. You ain't got to say none of that. You got to do is say he don't know nothing about what that man doing. You don't got to make it like if he don't know this man, like. Now it makes, and it discredits all of this, okay? How they got the lady on the ropes, and then he go and say that Diddy and him not friends, like.
it's all a strategy, bro. All a strategy.
Yeah, Jay-Z, a distance is Jay-Z, that nigga, he that little nigga with the answer key, but he be you trying to look over and he covering his paper and shit. Like he covering the answers and shit. He got the answers and he the smart kid in the class and he covering the answers and shit. Like, yo, Jay, did you tell Diddy? I hope y'all told Diddy y'all strategy. Like, yeah, did y'all tell Diddy he's not your friend? Did you tell do Diddy know that he's not your friend, bro?
I guarantee he didn't say that. I guarantee it.
Facts. But they got this lion accuser on the ropes. Let's watch this here, yo. They got her. That 20 minutes crap is a lie. But look where Radio City Music at. Because remember, I told y'all, New York City, the Five Boroughs is this little island right here. It's just this little strip. Y'all see that little L shape on the map and think New York, but that's not New York. That's New York State. You know what I mean? The boroughs, where it get popping at, is just this little strip, this little island, little strip right here.
At Mr. Combs' after party, according to them. When you look at the homes associated with Mr. Combs during that period of time, and even not during that period of time, none of them matches. He had a townhouse, he had a house in the Hamptons hours away, and he had homes in New Jersey, but not at that time. None of the homes work, the location doesn't work because this never happened. And again, when you really bear down on the location and his whereabouts.
Were you recently injured in a car accident?
He got a timeline,
look at this
boy.
check for $160,000.
They done pulled the timeline out, okay, Izzy?
I see what they trying to do. They got their little strategy board. We gonna pocket it though. Pocket it.
You quickly realize, because if there's photographic evidence and witnesses are coming forward, that Mr. Carter was at a commercial establishment after the VMAs. He wasn't at a house. Unfortunately for them, they needed to create this house in order to create the narrative. But he wasn't at a White House that did not exist. And this is a photograph of him at a location after the VMAs. So as we can continue through this, that Jane Doe does not say that the assault happened at a commercial establishment. She can't. That wouldn't make any sense. Yet they stand by it. They double down. They triple down. White House. The White House doesn't exist. And then we get to the witnesses. And I think at the outset, everybody has to remember that in 24 years, not a single witness has ever come forward saying this happened. Quarter of a century. Think about that. She says she's at the party alone, this 13-year-old girl, and she finds herself in the room with the three most famous people at the party. Just think about how unnatural, how little common sense that makes. And according to her, one of the witnesses is a female celebrity who's just standing there watching the repetitive rape of a child. That celebrity does nothing, says nothing, reports nothing. And in fact, they won't even identify her. According to them, there's an adult female in the room watching the rape of a child. They refuse to identify her. So then we continue, and you look and there's celebrities that she says she's mingling with before. Afterwards, she says she runs out of the house naked. Runs out of the house naked. None of them notice that. None of them pay any notice. For 24 years, none of them has said anything. And so she's just asked in this interview, she's asked, well, I mean, celebrities are recognizable people. Surely you can tell us one celebrity that was there. Just give us one name so that we know this happened. And she says, okay, Benji Madden was there. And she wants to conjure up religion and say, I'm religious. I remember his tattoo. She looks and remembers so vividly the tattoo and the conversation with Mr. Madden. Well, Mr. Madden wasn't there. He already said he wasn't there. His tour schedule said he wasn't there. And he wasn't there because this never happened. None of this ever happened. And you keep going and you ask yourself, well, who is this complaining witness? She does not come forward with her real name. She proceeds under Jane Doe. There's no report to the police. According to her, she never tells anybody for 24 years. Not one person, not alone in the car for 5 hours at home, on her way home. Not one person, not a diary, not a family member, not a friend. Most people, when this happens, there's a need to tell somebody. We call these prompt outcry witnesses. In most complaints like this, people tell somebody. She says nobody for 24, 25 years. And then we get to the details. And I want to make sure this is clear. When people make up an account, whether intentionally or their mind is playing tricks on them, they can always get that core part of the story right. They can just keep repeating it over and over and over again. This is what happened, that core part. But they're always going to mess up the details. When something isn't real, when something doesn't happen, you're going to get the details wrong because you weren't really there. And so she starts with her story about her friend that dropped her off. Okay? This drive of over 5 hours, the friend would have had to have gone 10 plus hours to drop her off because she's got to get there. If this is real, she's got to get there. But guess what? This friend of hers, she doesn't get out of the car, right? Think about that. She's just leaving a 13-year-old girl alone in Midtown. She doesn't even want to get out of the car. She came all that way. There can't be a witness there. She can't have a witness there because this never happened. So as you keep going, you ask yourself, but how did she end up in the car in the first place? And so she creates this story. She says, I stuck out the window, right? But now we know she came from Rochester. So she would have been sneaking out of the window at 3 p.m. in the middle of broad daylight. Never heard of such a thing, defies common sense, doesn't make any sense because this never.
Exactly. And then when she said that her father is the one that comes and picks her up at the gas station and they don't say nothing. And then she's in a religious family. She has a religious background. Yo, okay, they messed up, man.
This Jay-Z lawyer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he doing a good job right now because he's breaking stuff down to me right now. It ain't making sense, boy. It's not making sense at all. Boy.
That's why I don't know why he said what he said about the Diddy, why he made the Diddy comment that he had him. I mean, he had him like goop 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 goop, and then he said the Diddy comment, and it's like, yo, you know what I mean, like, yo, bro, why? Like, yo, bro, are you stupid? Like, what?
Happened. And so she tells this story because she's got to create a way that she gets out of the house and ends up in New York City. And as we keep going here, the friend that implausibly leaves her there's then some pressure on that part of the story because it doesn't make any sense. And so the lawyer is asked, well, just produce the friend. And so he has to find somebody that can make this work. And of course, as soon as he's pressed, they find somebody who they say is no longer alive. They can't corroborate it and there's nobody to talk to. Okay, and if we can keep going. Next slide.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer.
He killing them, yo. They should just give up. Just give up, bro. It's over. Stop. Stop while y'all ahead.
So
Diddy must
she
have
then
paid.
gets there, right? And she has this vivid tale of watching it on a Jumbotron. It's in her complaint. Clear as day. There was no Jumbotron that year. Okay? I don't know whether they were Googling images and found the wrong year. I don't know whether she's just making it up.
Wow. It wasn't even a Jumbotron that year. Look at the pictures that they got. Ain't no Jumbotron. They live on the little rooftop thing. No Jumbotron. Wow. See that we're in the technology ever. We could pull it up. We could pull it up to the time and date. Like what you said? Nah, that wasn't there. That wasn't there. In 2017, nope, that wasn't there.
Out of whole cloth. There is no Jumbotron. In fact, they didn't even get a permit, according to the police and the city, for the Jumbotron that year. So that didn't happen. Wow. None of the details are right because this never happened.
Look how they went all the way to the integral details, the fine details. They went to the city to see what was issued, if any permits was issued for a Jumbotron. And sis, you cook, sis. Just stop while you ahead, man. Stop. And that's why they tried to play like if she got like if she's autistic or something, I think, to try to that's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. That is not the reason that
The
you just sitting up
13-year-old,
here
right?
lying.
It's a 13-year-old they talking about, right?
Yeah, she was 13 at the time. She ain't 13
okay,
no more.
okay.
Yeah.
If we can keep going. And then she says, I'm knocking on the doors and the windows of limousines and VIPs. Of course, that doesn't work either. If you look at the video, photographs, that whole area was blocked off. We've spoken to numerous people there that were in security. No one could have gotten anywhere near those cars because this never happened. She gets that fact wrong. And the whole story about, of all people, she knocks on Puff's window. 13-year-old girl in Midtown by herself. Just think about that. Think about how illogical that is. Keep going. Again, this is Eminem performing in the streets. No Jumbotron. All the cars barricaded. Her facts don't check out because this never happened. We keep going. So what ends up happening then, and this is important, is her original account in the original complaint says that at 9:30 or 10, she's told to wait there to get a ride to the after party. Okay? That also doesn't work because there's photographs now of Mr. Combs, Mr. Carter at commercial establishments in New York after the VMAs. So this narrative of at 10 o'clock she ends up at this party can't work. They got caught. So they change it in the amended complaint that there's this multiple drop-off and pickup that lands them at this White House that doesn't exist. So as we continue, this is again her account of trying to change the story into this multiple drop-off period to get them at the house to deal with the fact that there's photographic evidence that that's not where the after party was in the first place. And so as this account continues, you have to look at the timeline. You have to look at the timeline. So there's an old expression that time doesn't lie. Everything else that I'm talking about, these glaring inconsistencies, these are not minor inconsistencies. These are not minor problems with this story. This is utter falsehoods. Time never lies. And so if you look at the time, no matter what, this couldn't have happened. It's not even possible that this happened. And this is so important. So again, now that we know that it's a 5-hour drive in each direction, how she gets to the VMAs, okay, we're going to talk in some detail about this White House and whether or not they could have gotten there. And then again, Doe returns home to Rochester, okay? And this is very important. Because she returns home, she has to leave the New York area by 1:30 in the morning at the latest, okay? If you look at any of these White Houses and you look at the closest gas stations that could be to any of these White Houses, you have to leave this White House party by 12:45 in order to get to the gas station at 1:30 to call your father to pick you up to get home to Rochester at 6:30. So remember, she only has till 12:45 for everything that she says to have happened. The VMAs end at after 11. So you're talking about a window of a little more than an hour that this could possibly have happened even by their own account. And she says during that little bit more than an hour, not only does she get to the house, not only is she inside mingling with celebrities, she has a drink. She's then sexually assaulted in front of an adult female multiple times. She gets out of that. She fights through it. She leaves the house naked. She gets all the way to the gas station. She had 37 minutes to possibly do this. Okay, even under their account. Okay, and of course, the biggest problem, perhaps of all, is there's photographs putting Mr. Combs and Mr. Carter at different places, not in a White House during that 37 minutes. So when I tell you that it's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true, it's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened. So we talked about this 37 minutes. The earliest, even if we didn't have that.
Hi, I'm Brenda. Let's talk Botox
Establishments. Remember, this is innocence on top of innocence. Even if we didn't have that, according to her, the earliest they could have gotten to the house is 12:11. And the reason for that is if the VMAs end and the drive is 20 minutes, the driver has to go there, drop them off, come back, pick her up, bring her back. She can't get there. And again, this is lickety split. This is as fast as is possible, okay? This is no traffic leaving Radio City in Midtown during an award ceremony. 12:11. She has to leave that white residence by 12:48 in order for her father to pick her up at the gas station. 37 minutes. That's the entire window of opportunity here. So here again is the timeline. Shows the 11:11 VMAs end, the drop off, the pickup, and the drop off. Next slide. And again, here we are. You see the 37 minutes. This is the 42 minutes it takes to walk. This is the closest gas station. And this is, remember this is a 13-year-old girl walking who has issues, who is maybe drugged according to her, who's just been viciously raped multiple times, who was holding her own clothing trying to get to a gas station that she had never been before. Okay? No map, no cell phone, no nothing. Straight line, it's 42 minutes. Okay? The story doesn't work. It doesn't check out. Okay? This never happened. Next slide. These are all the things that they claim happened in that 37 minutes. Okay? And again, 37 is giving them every benefit of the.
You said pause it real quick?
No. I mean, I'm glad you paused it because he's cooking right now. I'm literally sitting back observing this, and I can't make sense of the story that was put out. Like, he is cooking right now because nothing adds up. Nothing adds up from the timeline to what was said to the people that was supposedly in certain places in certain times. Who the heck dropped you off? And then what kills me is this is a 13-year-old girl driving 5 hours. It don't make sense to me, Goodbread. This ain't. I'm not. I mean, I ain't swallowing this pill. I'm not.
The doubt as how long this window could be. Every benefit of the doubt. But here's an even bigger problem. There are photographs of Mr. Carter and Mr. Combs at commercial establishments during the 37 minutes. They're not there. Even if you try to come up with the fastest possible timeline, I'm talking about no traffic, nobody getting in your way at the door, right to the bar kind of timeline. It still doesn't work because they had to leave Radio City. They had to go to the commercial establishments. Mr. Combs is photographed at 2 different commercial establishments with Jennifer Lopez, 2 establishments. They had to go to both of those establishments and get back to the White House. Get back to the White House before she has to leave at 12:30.
And you trying to tell me, so now that explains who that woman would have been. So you trying to tell me that J-Lo, Jay-Z, and Diddy, they all stood around and come on, bro. They had way bigger fish to fry than you, the young 13-year-old.
Right. Exactly. It's not, the math ain't mathing today.
Nice try, sis. Nice try.
None of this can work. And in fact, and I think this is very important, You will notice in the photographs that Miss Lopez changes clothing between the two events that they go to in New York City. You can see in one photograph, she's wearing one outfit and another. So she had to be able to, in this 40-minute window, get to multiple events. They're seen drinking, socializing. She has to change outfits, change her hair, all within 40 minutes to get to that White House in time. And you're saying to yourself, so that's not possible. You're right, it's not possible. It's because this never happened. And then we get to the end. She kept running until she reached a gas station. A female clerk noticed her, allowed her to use the phone. Plaintiff called her father, admitted that she had lied about her whereabouts. And this is a very small thing, very small. But remember, when you leave house and you're 13, you have to have a story. You either have to sneak out and not have a lie, or you tell your parents a lie. Sort of two options, right? Earlier, she says, well, I didn't tell my parents a lie. I just snuck out the window, right? Here, she says, well, I lied. See, do you know what that means? That means she's lying even within her own story. They can't both be true. And, I said earlier that no witnesses have come forward in basically a quarter of a century, except for one. Now there's one, her own father, the person who knows her best. And he came forward too. And he said, you know what? This never happened. This never happened. And his attention was drawn to it. I feel like I would remember that. And they said, but you've got to.
That's a key point. Because how could a 13-year-old sneak out for more than 4-5 hours? They mama or they daddy, whoever is, above them, how they don't know what's going on. This ain't making sense. It ain't making sense, nor is it making dollars, guys. Maybe she might want to make some dollars today, but it ain't making no sense to me, man. You can't be no 13-year-old girl that snuck out your crib. You out for 5-6 hours. Matter of fact, you was out more than that because it was just a 5-hour window for you to travel there. So you out for a couple hours. You out for at least 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. And all of a sudden, when you're butt naked, looking for a little spot, a gas, it ain't making sense. You got to be, your name got to be boo-boo if you
got a lot
believe
going on.
this.
They told him, listen, you've got a lot going on. Try to see if they pressed him, if he stuck to his story. He said, yeah, I have a lot going on, but that's something that would definitely stick in my mind. Of course it would stick in your mind. You drove 10 hours to pick up your 13-year-old daughter in New York City. It's not something you would forget. It's not something that he did forget because this never happened. And of course, just like the friend that couldn't be there at the beginning, you can't have a witness to something that never happened. When asked, well, what did you say to your father in the car? What did you talk about? Nothing. She says not a word was spoken. There can't be a conversation because this never happened.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
What's that?
And it's sad because it makes the women that are victims should be appalled. They should be angered right now for this right here. The real victims. Because I'm not one to sit up here and say things of this nature doesn't happen. You'd be a liar, a fool. But this right here is more common than you think. The lie is more common than the actual incident.
Right.
And that's the part. It's that part right there.
And so you got to ask yourself what's going on here, right? And you all saw that videotape of her being interviewed in the shadowy room. She's holding a teddy bear. She's talking about her issues, her head trauma. She's been through a lot in her life, you can tell. And so who took advantage of this? Why are we here? Why is this story getting created? And I'll tell you who took advantage of this. This lawyer took advantage of this. That's what's going on here. And you can see here, now that this is starting to unravel and the truth is coming out, he's starting to walk away from it. He's saying, oh, sorry, this case was referred to our firm by another firm, so I didn't really check it out, is basically what he's saying, right?
Wow.
He brings an accusation like this attacks a man with the integrity of Mr. Carter, and all he has to say for himself now is, well, I didn't really check on this. I got a referral, trying to make a little bit of money, so we just went live with it. Next. Here is again the timeline that he went live with. In the face of this irrefutable, time doesn't lie evidence, he went live with it. And again, it doesn't work. This 37 minutes, it does not work. It does not work because there's photographs. There's photographs. You can find them on the internet of them. They're changing clothes. She's changed clothes. Do you know how long that takes for her to go to 2 events, change clothes, get inside, have drinks, they're socializing. They're not popping into these events. To then get back out into the suburbs somewhere in a house that doesn't exist? It's not possible. Actually not possible. He is for sure innocent of this accusation. Next slide. But you know, this lawyer, he doesn't care about things like this. The only other person he's brought a complaint against for just mere association, merely being at a Sean Combs party, he's already been wrong about that one too. He had to change that one. If you look at the next slide, he got the year wrong. He said there was a party in the Hamptons. Mr. Combs was in Saint-Tropez at the time. Didn't check out. 2 claims, neither are checking out. We could keep going. And we have this, individuals calling my office, telling me story after story. And, I'm not going to get sidetracked. People think I'm going to start saying, explaining he's a grifter and all these things about him. I'm not here to talk about him more than I need to. But there's people calling the office saying, yeah, they were being pressured to say stuff, to say that they were with Mr. Combs. These are affidavits. They're filed in court. This is what you're dealing with here. Next slide. And so this is who took advantage of the woman in the shadowy video. He gives a press conference, 1-800 number, and he claims 2 days after posting that press conference, 2 days, that he has 120 fully vetted plaintiffs, 120. Anybody that does this for real, anyone that knows what they're doing, knows to corroborate, to interrogate, and to be sure about even one person takes weeks. One person.
That's right.
You've got to find out if their story makes sense. Did they really get dropped off? Does any of it check out? Is there corroboration? Are there any witnesses? It takes weeks for one. He had 120 in 2 days. When he files these cases, he doesn't even enter his notice of appearance. He just has some other lawyer file them. He holds these press conferences. He says, listen, anybody out there, just call the 1-800 number. If you can put yourself anywhere near a Sean Combs party at any point, we can go after the other celebrities there. We can make money together. Just call the 1-800 number. That's all you need to do. And then we'll send a letter to the celebrity. They're not going to want to have this in the public light, and they're going to be shaken down, and they'll send us money. So he's just call the number. And Mr. Carter said no. He said, that's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to put my foot down, and that's what he did. And I would urge any other celebrity that's being shaken down right now to do the same thing and to stand with truth. None of this ever happened. And what this 1-800 lawyer is doing, he's taking the justice away from this. He's destroying this opportunity and the voices of real victims, and it's got to end. So, are there any questions? Yes.
Question.
Sure.
So for the people that are calling your office, I'm assuming if it's not dismissed, like worst case scenario, and you guys move forward to try and show that everything you just told us, what evidence are you guys submitting other than the accounts that are giving you over the phone? Like, or do any of those people calling you have like emails between them and BuzzFeed or text conversations where they're encouraging this stuff?
Yeah, so let me divide that question into two if I can. We expect the case to be dismissed. If it's not, eventually this will all crumble because it can't possibly have happened mathematically. You don't even need witnesses. They don't have any witnesses because this never happened, and you don't need witnesses because the time doesn't work. There's literally photographic evidence that proves that this could not have happened. In terms of what's going to happen to Mr. Busby for this racket and everything else going on, time will tell. But this is how things unravel. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Who is Lex Intelligence, and has your firm ever hired them in connection with Tony Busby to investigate Tony Busby as he's alleged?
I don't know that firm, don't know those people, and the answer is no.
So this might just be an extension of the first question, but you said that there were people calling saying they were being pressured to say that they were with Mr. Combs. Can you elaborate on that, please? Are they calling you to say that they're being pressured?
Yeah, there was a witness that came forward that contacted my office and submitted an affidavit in court regarding this, that accounted for what occurred on that day, which was they called the Busby firm. They said they had an inquiry. The inquiry had nothing to do with Mr. Combs, Mr. Carter, or any of this. And the people at the Busby firm said, well, why don't we try to push this in the direction of the Combs case? That's a better decision in sum and substance. That's a better way to go here. This individual refused to do that, contacted my office and signed them, and then an affidavit was submitted to court. Yes?
You mentioned the letters that Busby's been sending out to unnamed celebrities in relation to these Combs lawsuits. What were your interactions on behalf of Mr. Carter before he was renamed in the amended complaint?
Well, after the letter was received, we obviously knew this was completely false and we weren't going to be shaken down. So the efforts were nothing because there was nothing to discuss in any meaningful way.
Do you know who the Jane Doe is, like her actual identity? Has there been like research into that on your end?
Yeah, because it's a fair question. Because she's been blacked out in the video and because a court has not unmasked her in court, I'm not going to get into her identity. You will notice that I did not get into some of her issues. I don't want to. It's really sad in many respects, and I don't want to get into that. So I'm not going to unmask her here today.
Has the accuser tried to reach out to Mr. Carter before, or any of his camp or anyone?
Not to my knowledge. Yes.
Busby indicated that there was a second alleged.
I like this lawyer, man. I like him.
That he's pursuing that claim still.
No, and I would hope not after what's going on here. Yes.
You mentioned in your recent filing on this docket that you were intending to file a motion to dismiss. What's the timeline on that? Are you working on that?
Yeah, so we did file a motion to dismiss the day after this was filed.
Right.
The Rule 11 letter, which basically says that a lawyer is not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to not vet a claim and file a false claim in court, or it needs to come down. The way that works, and it's a little technical, is that the court has to allow you to file faster than you should otherwise be allowed to file. So we are hopeful that the court will respond today, that we will file that. If not, there are other things that we're going to do to bring the truth to light. Are there any other questions? Yes.
Are there any witnesses who will be corroborating Mr. Carter's testimony that he was not there that night? Or is that sort of what you're hinting at, that if necessary, you will provide those people?
Yeah, I mean, it's like asking to corroborate something that never happened. I mean, there are dozens and dozens of people that are going to say there was no party at the White House, that put all of these celebrities where they're already put in photographs in different places, not at a White House. Remember, according to her, all three of these people, I mean, you all have seen the photographs, I mean, on the internet, and I just showed you some. All three of these people would have had to have been at this White House together, alone in a room. Just think about that. Alone in a room with this 13-year-old girl at exactly the time that they're at commercial establishments. So there's no proof better than time. But of course, there are going to be people that are going to say that they were all out that night and nowhere near a White House, and they went to an after party at a commercial establishment. And this is all fantasy.
If this case is dismissed after that, or you guys decided indefinitely to file anything in addition, like an information lawsuit?
This issue with a lawyer taking advantage of the situation is going to be dealt with. I can assure you. And I think sort of stay tuned. I think the first thing today was to make sure that everybody understands this is not an account of inconsistencies. I wanted everybody to understand that this never happened. This is completely false. And then we'll move forward from there. Yes.
What is Mr. Carter's account of that night? Does he say he was at multiple locations, just that nightclub, Lotus nightclub that he was photographed at?
Yeah, so I'm not going to get into sort of privileged communications and talk too much about that, but I will say that he was not at any house or any location. They were in New York City. They were at commercial establishments with lots of people around. And this is obviously completely false.
How's Mr. Carter feeling?
He's upset. He's upset that somebody would be allowed to do this. They would make a mockery of the system like this. He's upset that this distracts and dissuades real victims from coming forward. He's upset that his kids and his family have to deal with this. He's upset. They should be upset.
Is your firm investigating Busby, talking to people around him as he's alleged in some of his legal suit, in his suit against Gwen Emanuel?
Yeah, that suit went nowhere, as you saw. And what happens when people bring frivolous cases and run rackets like this is, of course, we're asking questions. I've got people contacting my office telling me chapter and verse about him. So we don't shut off the phone lines. I'm listening because I'm trying to figure out how this is allowed to proceed like this. Yes.
He posted a photo on his Instagram of 3 men at a door of his client, suggesting that investigators came and said that they would pay $1,000 for plaintiffs to file a suit against him. I mean, do you have any connection to those men that he photographed? Do those men have any connection to Quinn Emanuel?
Zero. Okay. I don't know whether it's completely false or not, but zero connection to those people. Have no idea what that is. Don't know whether he made it up out of whole cloth. Don't know if he's trying to distract from what he's under now. But no, there's no truth to that. Anything else?
Right. Will Mr. Carter say anything more specifically about Mr. Combs? He didn't really address him in his statement, but anything since outlets and internet speculation have tried to affiliate the two of them, he didn't really in his statement specifically say anything about any of the allegations.
I mean, Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other.
And there you go. And there you go. There you go. There's all the credibility, that he just accumulated goes out the window. You know, come on, my guy Alex. The people mind frickle. The people want this man to be wrong. They want him to be so wrong because they're so wrong or they've been hurt and they haven't addressed it. So they run around here with all that bad venom in them and they want people's life to match their life. Come on, man.
And it looked like they basically trying to, because whatever Diddy got going on, he got his case. They're trying to appropriate Jay with Diddy. And I'm not saying Diddy did or did not do what he did, but if that's the only bone to pick in the case, then this lawyer, and I love this lawyer because he's picking it apart. You can't just associate me with somebody, like you said earlier, Mr. Goodbread. If I have something going on in my life, just because you know me, don't mean that you got the same crap going on in your life. You know, so they're trying to associate him with Diddy, and that's their bone to pick. That's their stake in the game. But they don't have no other stake in the game. And this lawyer is single-handedly, diabolically, in a good way, picking all that apart, bro.
And that's true. But when you in the technology era, OKL, and it's all of this type content right here. I love you. I'm having a great night. And then it's this right here.
Person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
That should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
You've been there with me through my ups and downs. Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here. This is my brother. It's B.I.G's brother. Yes, sir. It's Brooklyn's own Brooklyn.
Now you allow the people that are wrong in their thinking to automatically focus in on that. The fact that you kind of lied and you know what I mean, you're a lawyer, so you gotta word your shit differently, bro. It's too much content going around with them two kissing cousins for you to be like they don't. You know what I mean, listen what he said, bro. Listen.
About Mr. Combs, he didn't really address him in his statement, but anything since outlets and internet speculation have tried to affiliate the two of them, he didn't really in his statement specifically say anything about any of the allegations.
I mean, Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally.
Now he could have stopped that case, but when he gonna say, "Oh, Mr. Combs, bruh, Bro, are you seeing what I'm
No,
seeing? Okay, Alex?
no, you're right about that. And that's how they tie that in. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
And then then it gives the people a reason to distract from the fact that this man ain't do nothing. But now they focus in on that. Cause that's a lie, bro. That's a lie. That's a mother loving lie, bro. They ain't besties and they ain't enemies. You know what I mean? But they know of each other.
Right.
Come on,
And then
now.
they get to use these little videos to make it look like they besties and you know what I'm saying?
Facts. It's too
I
much of this
get you.
out.
I get
And
you.
it's too much of these videos out, bro. Look, you saw the video where the man stood on the stage and said that he's his confidant. He's his confidant. Look, listen to this shit.
You've been there with me through my ups and downs. Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here.
You see?
Bro, you know what a strategist is? That mean when they ran down on you, bro, you called Jay.
Mm-hmm.
50 was right. That boy 50
Wow,
was right.
no cap though. I see what strategy they use now. I see exactly how they use that strategy, boy.
Facts.
For a number of years, just like in all professions, people know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. If you go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. That's all that there is. He doesn't know anything about the charges or allegations against him. He has nothing to do with that case.
Right.
And there's nothing more to say. Yes.
In the original filing before it was amended, and even after, there was a second, the woman celebrity that even chose in the room. That woman celebrity, whoever that is, has there been any other people that may have been with Mr. Carter or even Puff that night that I reached out to you guys just wanting to know what is happening, just so that they can prepare for kind of even a fight back like Jay-Z is right now?
Well, we know other celebrities have received letters, and we've spoken to other celebrities that were there that night that say this is what they know about this. This makes no sense, couldn't have happened because they were all at a commercial establishment. So I hope that answers your question. Yes.
Was there a specific amount of money or something specific that was demanded of Mr. Carter in this demand letter that was sent to you before the complaint was filed?
There isn't a specific number that has been demanded.
But do they specifically ask for money in the demand letter?
Yeah. So I've been asked this question before. People like this, they don't send demand letters out to not get money. That's all they want. Okay. This is not for truth and justice. This is for money. So the request was to sit down and talk about a way to resolve this matter, and we all know what that means.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you have any plans to release the demand letter?
Not as I stand here today. I'm more concerned with making sure that everybody knows this didn't happen. I know there's a lot of questions about this lawyer and who's after him and how much wrong has he done and these questions, and I totally understand that and respect those questions, but we'll turn to that later. Anything else?
And that was all of his briefing right there. He got a pretty good defense. Jay got a pretty good defense, but like I said before, I stand on that, yo. He should have never said anything about friendship, and you don't need to say that. You know what I mean? You don't need to say that because like that give people a reason to sit there and discredit you from all the other truths that you have, because that's a lie, bro. They are friends, bro. They're associates. All them goddamn brunches come on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Lawyers just doing what they need to do to word everything the correct way. And I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, even if they were friends, associates, I don't think that this guy should be chastised based off of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all really got some real proof or some real substantial evidence in this man, let's put it out then. Like, let's not try to use the sidetrack stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tonight, Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, is pushing to get a judge to dismiss the rape lawsuit against his client, citing an NBC News exclusive that found inconsistencies with the accuser's account.
We expect Mr. Carter to be fully cleared of all of this in the coming days. Almost nothing that she says has checked out because this never happened.
This in the wake of our interview with a 38-year-old mother from Alabama who accuses Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and Sean Diddy Combs of rape. 13 years old. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough.
She says that she might have some facts wrong, but that she says the incident happened. What do you say to that?
You know, anybody, when they make up a claim, they can just keep repeating it and getting it right. But you never get the details right. And what happened during her interview with you is that the story began to unravel.
On the night of the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000, she says Combs' limo driver took her to an after party. There, she says she spoke to musician Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo. That's the Last Supper.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative for the Maddens confirmed they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter both raped her. She says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up.
We rode home in silence. She didn't ask me what happened.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not corroborate her story. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said. The woman revealed to us that she has autism.
That don't even make sense, man. That don't, like, for real, that makes sense to you, Goodbread?
Hell no, bro. You see that? If the dad ain't corroborating the story, that shit ain't never happened, bro.
And previously suffered a head injury. In a follow-up phone interview, we asked her about the contradictions, and she said that she stands by her statements.
This woman is standing by her story. It happened over 20 years ago. Maybe her memory is hazy. Maybe her father doesn't remember that night.
No, she's doubled down on certain of these details. She says, I'm positive. She points out the tattoo. She talks about the tattoo in vivid detail. Turns out that's completely false. And the father is supposed to be picking her up. 10-hour drive, round trip to pick her up in the middle of the night. Has no memory of that. No one has come forward about this in nearly a quarter of a century, and that's because this never happened.
Spiro said he's not only seeking justice for Jay-Z, he says that he also wants to expose the accuser's attorney, Tony Busby.
He takes away the voices from real victims, and he causes real harm. If this lawyer has any sense, he's going to dismiss this claim. I don't know whether he has any sense.
Busby, who has filed more than 20 lawsuits against Combs, told NBC News that he is continuing to vet the accuser's claims and that she has agreed to undergo a polygraph this week. A representative for Combs called the suit a shameless money grab.
Since your attorneys refiled the lawsuit against Combs naming Jay-Z, he has come out with a very long statement saying that this is completely not true and that this is all about trying to get money from him. What do you say about that?
I haven't asked for a dime from him. It's not everything is motivated by money, and I'm sorry that he feels that it is.
It is about money, and it's because y'all don't eat. Y'all don't eat. That's the same thing that these single mothers run around here saying. It's not about the money. When they go drag the man that they choose to have unprotected, with to child support. Because the courts are the ones eating up all the generational wealth. Just like the lawyers that push y'all up to be a dummy is the only ones that's eating. You know what I mean? Like, you got to pay them. So even if it's not about the money to you, it's about the money to them. You know what I mean? Know what I'm talking about?
And you're not fooling me. The guy said it clearly was over a decade. So if this happened when she was 13, she got to be more than 33. So why would you come out now if it wasn't about the money? Why would you come out 20 plus years later if it wasn't about the bread? Like, this ain't adding up to me, man.
Yeah, that's why
1 + 1 is 2, not 3.
That's why they're using her, because she is not about the money to her. That's why they're using the dummy.
Okay,
That makes sense.
Right.
On camera last week that this isn't about money.
Well, let's be serious. A lawyer like this is not sending out these letters not to make money. He wants money and fame. He doesn't care about truth and justice. And that's what's going on.
Exactly.
Chloe Malas joins us in studio. So, Chloe, explain this to me. The attorney for the plaintiffs, Tony Busby, right? He is sticking by his client, even though you've been able to report these inconsistencies and they are now out there in the public?
Yes, and because of our exclusive report here on Top Story, he's actually going to have Jane Doe do a polygraph test. He says he hasn't done it yet, but that they are going to be doing it this week. He also said in a statement.
Now, why they gonna let this lady take a polygraph test? Yo, she gonna fail. She gonna fail, yo.
To us moments ago that their conduct throughout all of this has been beyond reproach and will continue to be, even though that's not what you're hearing Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's attorney, what he's saying. Also, I just want to show you Jay-Z's team created a timeline. Obviously, even though this took place allegedly 24 years ago, right? They are saying that there is just no way that he could have been at the VMAs. He's on camera there until the end of the VMAs, which ended right after 11. And that there are photographs of him at the Lotus Club in Manhattan. And they say he was there till 3 a.m. and then he went to the music studio. So again, they are adamant that
he was not at that party.
He was not at any sort of after party.
I do want to ask you this. What is Jay-Z's sort of legal team strategy in describing the relationship between Diddy and Jay-Z? Because there are a ton of photos of them over the years, obviously before these allegations came out.
And this civil suit, Tom, originally just named Combs. And then it was amended last weekend to include Jay-Z. What Alex Spiro said to me today is that although publicly Jay-Z supported Diddy, they were not best friends. They were not as close as you thought that they were. So in terms of knowledge of what went on allegedly at these white parties and what took place allegedly in these civil suits and the criminal charge and the trial, he says Jay-Z has no knowledge of any of that. Again, he publicly supported him as a fellow musician and someone where they came up together in the industry, but that they weren't as close as you thought.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about.
That's crazy, yo. But we know that they beginning of their career, they wasn't cool. If y'all want to see that, y'all could go back and watch that Imaginary Players video where Jay-Z tore. He too into the Bad Boys Company. He too into Mace. He too into P. Diddy. Man, vicious. So they definitely wasn't friends. And after that, you could tell that they wasn't that cool. But this is what happened when you let corny people get up around you, sit up around you, and you forget that you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most. You know what I mean? You got to remember that at all times, guys.
Right.
Weirdos will get themselves up around you and pull you down. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. But if you let one weirdo in, it'll burn in an hour, bro. God, okay.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? See, that's why, not to get personal, but that's why I really like try not to be around too many people, because influence is very important, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, whether you invite it or not. When you're around certain people and when you're around certain things, these things can consume you in ways that you don't even invite it. So now that Diddy is going through what he's going through, it looked like Diddy's whole situation is taking advantage of the accusers, or not even, or Jay-Z. These accusers are using Diddy's situation to associate him with the bullcrap. So now they looking for a cash out. They're looking for a scapegoat, and it's all because of the association that he had with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Goodbread, they weren't best friends, but because they were associates, now that association brings about the BS that comes with it.
That's a fact. And the quote is, bad company causes bad morals, guys. Let's stop playing. But this is gonna be a war right here, guys. This is gonna be a war, because I just got this sent to me. This just in. This is breaking news. We finna break this. You know what I mean? We finna break this, and we got documents and all of that. You know, I really don't do documents and shit. I don't like doxing and all of that, but this This just got sent to me because Tony Busby is not going to take this lying down. This is his response to what we just saw, guys. And this is fresh off the press right here. December 18th, 12 o'clock this afternoon. Man, okay, so can you see that? Can you read that?
Yeah, I could read that. I was looking at it. You got attorney Tony Busby says Jay-Z's company paid former clients to file bogus lawsuits against him.
Okay.
Right?
That's what he say.
Dad, you want me to read that too?
Yeah.
Okay, Dad, I can't even see. It's not even close enough. Let me try. Okay, boom. You zoomed in. That's beautiful. So we got Busby, whatever. This motherfucker got a weird name. But Busby has filed a lawsuit against Rock Nation Foundation by Jay-Z for allegedly financing an operation in which investigators impersonated state officials, brandished fake badges, and illegally solicited former clients of Busby law firm.
Damn, it's getting getting vicious out. They getting vicious. This boy right here, he getting vicious on them, yo.
They done sent some fake lawyers, some fake representatives that don't got nothing to do with the firm, but represented the firm in like a bogus way, so that these people can be convinced to be on this guy's side. Wow.
No, this is Tony Busby. This is Tony Busby saying that Rock Nation. This is a lawsuit against Rock Nation. Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me get this right. There you go. There you go. Geraldo Garcia, plaintiff, versus Marcy Bryant Croft, Rock Nation LLC, MJ Legal, PA Jessica Santiago, Quinn Emanuel, Urquhart, and Sullivan LLP is the defendant.
Wow.
What is that? Plaintiff originally petitioned for barratry and conspiracy to commit barratry. Plaintiff files this original petition against defendant Marcy Bryant Croft, MJ Legal, PA investigator Jessica Santiago, Rock Nation, LLC, and Quinn Emanuel, and Sullivan, LLP. Quinn Emanuel, seeking damage, and respectfully shows this honorable court the following. Defendant have conspired to obstruct justice by engaging shadowy operatives to illegally seek out more than 24 current and former clients of the Busby law firm to convince those clients to bring frivolous cases against the Busby law firm. Wow, they getting dirty. Both sides is getting dirty. Both sides.
Right.
Rock Nation is financing the effort. Its attorneys, Mark Croft and Quinn Emanuel, are orchestrating the efforts. In some cases, the defendant's agent pretends to work for the state of Texas and have flashed fake badges. Soliciting clients is a crime in the state of Texas. Paying individuals to file false claims is unethical and criminal in the state of Texas. Impersonating a state official is a crime. In at least one case, defendant agent offered as much as $10,000 to a former client of Busby Law. Wow, and guys, just want y'all to see, this journey is like 14 pages, guys. This journey is like 14 pages. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It is nasty work. It is nasty work going on out here. So this joint fitting go on forever. So this is gonna go way into the summer 2025, yo.
So what you
Plaintiff
saying, good bread,
intends.
is go ahead, my bad, bro.
Now you wanna take it from here? I just skipped down a
No,
little bit because I ain't got time to read all of this shit right here. I
no,
ain't
for sure. No, I was just trying to get like an understanding on like, so basically you got Busby, his little side is paying people to solicit stuff and they're using fake badges.
No.
But are they saying that
They
Jay-Z
saying
is doing
Alex,
that? Like,
yeah, they saying Alex Sperrio and Jay-Z and Rock Nation and all the people that we just named here, they're saying those people are responsible for this. Jay-Z are funding that.
oh man. That's gonna eat him though. That's what's eating him. Okay.
It's crazy, right? Let's read this part
That's
right here. It's
wild,
filing.
bro.
The evidence, the discovery control plan. You could read that right there?
It's not. I really can't see it. That's why I can't read. It's like kind of like if you could
Yeah,
zoom
it's
in
kind
for
of
me, I can
blurry.
definitely read. Yeah.
I know that shit is you can see it, you can read it now. You can, oh damn, that shit went back to the beginning.
Right. If you could zoom in a little bit more for me, I could read it because it's kind of small for me, dog.
What about there?
Yeah, it's still small, good bread. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Alright, don't worry about it. I got it from here.
Okay.
So we got the discovery control plan. Plaintiff intends to conduct discovery under level 3 of Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 190.4 and affirmatively pleads that this suit is not governed by the exhibited actions process in Texas Rule of Civil Procedures 169 because plaintiff requests injunctive relief and plaintiff seeks monetary relief over 100,000. Evidence. This filing is supporting by the following evidence, which is attached and incorporated herein. Transcripts of defendant Jessica Santiago and Gerardo Garcia, transcripts of defendant agent and Skylar Taylor, affidavits of Skylar Taylor, affidavits of Shannon Champagne on behalf of two clients, Tony Bisbee and the Bisbee Law Firm, sent demand letters to Sean Jay-Z Carter's attorney in New York. The letters made no monetary demands. They only sought a confidential sit down to discuss the client's allegations. In response of the two letters, defendant Quinn Emanuel filed suit against the Busby Law Firm. The suit alleged that the firm was trying to extort Sean Jay-Z Carter. The lawsuit was and is frivolous and will be dismissed. Several weeks later, the Busby Law Firm, on behalf of one of the clients who sent a demand letter, filed a lawsuit against Mr. Carter. At around that time, defendant conspiracy began. As part of that conspiracy, current and former clients of the Bisbee Law Firm began receiving solicitations from investigators asking current and former clients to sue the firm. The investigators used burner phones. Many times the investigators used fake names or flash badges or credentials, but would not let the clients see them. During some of the contacts, the investigators were pushy, and in at least two, they pretended to be acting on behalf of of the state of Texas. Several of these calls were caught on either camera or tape. Wow, bro.
That's wild, boy.
Now, if Bisbee come to court and pull out that, and they had that to show that in court, this journey to take a whole left turn, Alex. This journey to take a whole left turn. This is crazy.
And what you said was correct, Goodbread. Like this case is gonna go on for a minute based off of all the information you just showed just now. It's gonna be a boxing match. It ain't gonna be 2 rounds. It's gonna be like 12 rounds.
That's a fact. Okay, Izzy, boy. If that ain't a fact, that was well said, boy. This is fitting to get nasty, yo. In each instance, the investigators were careful not to disclose on whose behalf they were working. For good reason. The defendants in this case did not want to disclose their participation in the flagrant violation of Texas law. Indeed, these defendants openly and brazenly violate Texas criminal law dozens of times. One such target of defendant solicitation was plaintiff Geraldo Garcia. Mr. Garcia is a resident of Harris County. He was injured in a Jones Act lawsuit and hired the Busby law firm to represent him. His case was settled in 2020. He was happy with the resolution of his case and had no complaints with the Busby law firm. Nearly 5 years later, after his case had resolved, not seeking to hire lawyers or file a lawsuit, Mr. Garcia was contacted out of the blue by 2 investigators. This contact was an illegal solicitation and was made on behalf and as part of a conspiracy involving defendant Croft, Rock Nation, and Quinn Emanuel. One of these investigators identified herself as Jessica Santiago. These 2 investigators approached Mr. Garcia at his home and flashed a badge. They told plaintiff Garcia several times that they were from the state. They asked Mr. Garcia if he was unhappy with his settlement from 2020 and whether they could see his settlement documents. They were pushy. They followed this up by explaining to him that they were with the state but couldn't connect him with a private lawyer so he could sue the Busby, but could connect him with a private lawyer so he could sue the Busby law firm. They told Garcia several times that there was money in this for you. This investigator request became increasingly aggressive and hostile. At some point, defendant agent demanded Mr. Garcia produce his medical records and offered him money to hire the private lawyer to sue the Busby firm. Mr. Garcia decided to call the Busby law firm and report the conduct. Despite,
oh man. If it ain't get worse, it just got even more worse. God dang, man.
Man, right? Despite her best efforts in disguising the identity of those she was working for, investigator Jessica Santiago was caught on tape disclosing to Mr. Garcia that she was working for an attorney named Marcy Croft at the law firm MJ Legal, PA. Defendant Marcy Croft is an attorney in Jackson, Mississippi. Defendant MJ Legal is the law firm Mrs. Croft perpetratedly owns. Miss Croft advertises herself as a member of Team Rock. Moreover, Ms. Croft advertises that she has become actively involved with criminal justice reform and prison reform alongside Rock Nation. Team Rock, she furthers advertises herself as being involved in numerous litigations, actions pending on behalf of Team Rock, families, and hundreds of incarcerated men. Marcy Croft has worked with Rock Nation for years alongside Quinn Emanuel, Alex Sparrow. Sparrow and Quinn Emanuel are currently opposing the Busby law firm in at least 2 cases. Damn, okay, Izzy, bro. And it's a lot more, bro. It is a lot more. I definitely put the link in the chat for y'all to go and get y'all see on for yourself. You know how we do here. Y'all could go.
So basically,
It's
so what it
14
sounds like
pages.
is, so it sounds like it's a whole money grab for like the people who are quote unquote victims, because it sounds like to me that you got some folks that literally switch sides because they were being, I don't know, solicited, and they looked at a money grab, so they switched sides for the money. It's just getting weird to me. It sounds like it's a money grab, bro. It sounds like this is just a whole money grab for folks on the back end, both lawyers, whatever the case may be. Because as y'all can see and as y'all heard, you got Jay-Z folks, or not, I ain't even gonna say Jay-Z folks, the lawyer that was advocating for Jay-Z, they went to somebody and that same person reported them. Now it sounds like that person is on the other side. Am I mistaken when I say that, Goodbread?
No, it sound like Jay-Z and his folks saw an opportunity. They thought they went to go take that opportunity and they backfired. The guy that they thought was going to be on their side to do some dirt with them, he went back and reported it to his peoples, and now they got tapes and wires and all types of shit of Jay-Z's people trying to be greasy. That's
Okay.
what it is now. So now it's like it's 1-up. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. That's, you know what I mean, on some real shit. You know what I mean? It's 1-up.
Okay. That sounds crazy.
It's crazy, man. But word, man. Like I said, I'm just here. We just here to keep the people informed of what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm not one to pick a side, because it's just all weird, yo. It's all weird, and it's all entertainment, yo. It's all entertainment. You know what I mean?
It's all entertainment. It's all profit.
And we don't profit, so you know what I mean? Don't get distracted in it.
Right. Exactly.
But guys, y'all got any questions? If anybody want to join and get a 2 cents, share their 2 cents, now is the time to join. Share your 2 cents. We appreciate y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tonight, you already know.
Exactly.
Before we exit on out, yo, I found this joint to be so funny, and nothing these celebrities has done, nothing these rappers, entertainers has done has aged well, bro. We are living in the technology era, bro. Okay, L. We could dig up anything and then make it not sound right. Just it's just crazy, yo. You know what I mean? And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it because I for a laugh, man.
Ho got a young girl, still not quite 21.
What you was gonna say? Okay.
No, I'm guilty of it as well. You know, we living in the technology age. We living in that AI age. So, and it influences us in a certain way. So you'll look up something and that will influence not only your emotions, but just the way you think about certain things, whether you understand it or not. But sometimes it's not your fault because you're looking at it for what the information it put out is. You just got to be able to discern between that information. And sometimes you got to be able to remove yourself from that and just let everything play out. You know what I'm saying? Because you might not understand or realize what's going on in front of you. Because what's in front of you is BS. What's in front of you is just a whole bunch of regurgitated bullcrap. What's in front of you is just a bunch of money that people are making off of your ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So you gotta really be able to discern what's going on in front of you. And sometimes you gotta just be able to take a step back and just look at everything and let it play out. Like I said, I'm a victim of it, man.
No doubt, bro. But y'all, check this shit out right here. I found this shit real funny, yo.
Hope got a young girl, hope got a young girl, still not quite 21.
What Hov just said?
So I strung such a vibrant thing. I introduced myself, hi, Miss Thing.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No, I heard what he said now.
You're 19? No, you're lightning in the bottle. I'll give you a ring tomorrow.
Time to head on out. Time to head on out.
The scene that follows, screams of horror, classic Stephen.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at somebody else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you are laughing and opening a way for your own demise when you do that. Because to laugh and not learn, to make mockery and not to understand, is to make the same mistake yourself. Did you hear me?